pitch. Simple setup. One-day operation. We pick up their trailer, the chopper, run them down, grab those hostages, and bounce back across the border before anybody knows we were there.
What the f***? Stick around.
What could go wrong?
You're saying there's an alien, like a from outer space alien, there in the jungle with you guys, and he's just messing with you?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we got him.
Do you have the new book on how to deport illegal immigrants?
Get the hell out of here and don't come back!
Yep, that's the one. Do you have it in paperback?
Welcome to the Friday nights. I'm Jason Sandberg. Fellas, it was cold again this week, but it was a good week. It was a good week at the LCS. Latest issue.
You were able to make it to your LCS?
Oh yeah,
state of Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I drive through Minneapolis twice a day, but nobody messes with me. So this is issue 5 of Skinbreaker. I don't know if this is a 6 or 8 issue series, but absolutely gorgeous art, fantastic, intriguing story, completely otherworldly. Curious to see what happens, but greatly enjoying it. So recommend it. And then
David Finch is hard at work. Like he's just pumping out the books.
What I heard is that basically Robert Kirkman has got he basically bankrolled him to do this. And the book is done. He's working on it for like a couple of years, and he's doing it, I guess, like double sized. So the artwork, the original artwork is huge. So it's fantastic that Robert Kirkman can be a patron for the creators that he wants to work with.
Nice.
And I think it's just fantastic. Which shows you that he still loves comics. That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I mean, the one thing I can say proudly is I read every single issue of The Walking Dead from start to finish.
Nice. I was an Invincible guy myself.
Yeah.
But this is the 4th issue of the new quarterly rebooted Heavy Metal. I recommend this too, because in this era of decompressed storytelling, it's nice to find something, a variety pack with some 4, 6, 8 page stories in here. And again, anytime you've got an anthology series, it's going to be hit or miss. And I haven't read this one yet, but true to form, there's usually a couple of boobs in each issue. So highly recommend Heavy Metal, right?
Definitely.
And then I pulled off the shelf before the show started this beauty. If you have not, we'll talk to Per Berg about what he's doing that's new, but this came out several years ago. This is a treasure here. This is fantastic. He took the screenplay for Nosferatu and ran it through his unique blender. And this is just a fantastic book. It's a beautiful hardcover, black and white interiors, just wonderful. So highly recommend this. And as always, I'm hard at work on Jupiter issue 2. Jupiter issue 1 is in demand from my comic at Indiegogo, and Craig is going to bring up the campaign. Guys, if this was the Legion of Superheroes, my name would be Grateful Lad, because we are on the way to 120 follows on Indiegogo, which is fantastic. Last week, the audience helped me break through that magic 100 threshold, already up to like 112. So we're on our way to 120, which is just huge. It bodes well for the future. I'm very excited to get this book completed and launch the campaign. But I want to say thank you to everybody who's in the chat, everybody who's watching, who either has already signed up, is going to sign up, or who's been signal boosting to kind of spread the word. I greatly appreciate it. So thank you, everybody.
I'm I'm a little slow behind the buttons. Honestly, I'm stone cold sober. It's just I'm turning 50 this year, Jason. Can you believe that? That's
you're young.
That means you only got like 50 years left or something.
Less
with
than
the
that.
new technology, they supposedly solved cancer, maybe. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Well, I mean, I was
Never
a
know.
career soldier.
Wait till the boomers die.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew that, Per, but I served in the military for 26 years.
Oh yeah, so are you kind of retired almost?
Yeah, well, no, I am now, but I did 2 tours in Afghanistan, a tour in Bosnia, and yeah, I loved the military. I talk all the time about how the United States basically kept us alive. I was embedded with U.S. Army Green Berets my first tour. Incredible experience. You know, I mean, being able to call in A-10 Warthogs and Blackhawks, and I mean, we even had a B-2 fly over at one time. I mean, I got to see it all, right?
Cool.
I very much very grateful for the cooperative spirit. I mean, I've always loved the United States. You know, I've got family in Iowa and whatnot. I don't know where I was going with this.
You do have kind of an Iowa/Canadian accent. Now that
yeah, right. That's what that's what about. So I shared your link, Jason. And yeah, you're at 112 right now.
Yeah,
so
112.
Yeah, congrats, Jason. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And sign up, everyone, if you haven't signed up yet.
I'm going to keep chugging away, and we'll see where I get to before it launches. And then Infinite Entertainment says in the chat that Skinbreaker is going to be 8 issues, so 3 more to go after this. Thank you for letting us know. Craig, how was your week?
I'm really scatterbrained this week. I need
Just
to
this
work on my yeah, all the time. I need to work on my organization. So like before every show, I usually step out and smoke one of those, but I didn't this time, and I'm really I don't like being sober, Jason and Per. So I hope you guys don't know. I can't even get into the package. I didn't cut it. Look at that, terrible.
You've got two left hands when you're sober.
I'm all over the place. There we go. All right, so
you're all thumbs. That's what they say. You're all thumbs.
That's gonna save my night for me.
That's a gummy. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm drinking Starbucks. And I got
do you drink coffee at night? Some people do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like Hunter S. Thompson. You've got the presses. You've got this axis going between the coffee and the Jolt soda, and then you've got
So, what should I talk about first? Soltac or
Soltac?
Books?
Soltac.
Okay. All right. So let's get that one out of the way. By the way, we're already at 26 watching. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. So first and foremost, and then maybe you can tell me what I need to cut out of this stupid update. So again, here's the double page spread. I'm still up in the air. Nobody gives me any feedback. Do they want this double page spread, like as a print? Yeah. Would you want this, or let me remove that for a second? Or would you want me and Jason to make a modified version of this postcard that Jason created? Which would be a better giveaway?
So Craig, can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Here's what you do, because we're all comic book guys. You should make a print that's comic book size, right? The 6x10. One side is that arena battle landscape. The other side we can stretch out and modify and reformat the house ad to fill up the size of a comic book, because that way you don't have to fold it. That way it slips right into the long box. I think it's a gold. I think it's a gold mine.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea. Best of both worlds.
Okay, we'll definitely talk, Jason. Yeah.
Because if you're not going to mail it, don't do a postcard. Don't do it big. And then I love having stuff that's like the size of a backer board, just to because there you go.
It fits in a mailer too, and you don't fold it. Okay. Yeah. I'm on the same pack. Okay, so I know,
and I've got connections in the printing industry, so I'll take care of you.
Appreciate it. I know you're going to help me. If anyone doesn't know, by the way, even though I'm in Canada, please don't hold it against me. I print my books in Florida. Half of my artistic team are American, right? My editors, my letterer, it gets printed in the States, and Jason takes care of the fulfillment in the States. So I promise you, a big chunk of this book is built and manufactured in the US, right? And I don't make money off my comic. I'm still a creator.
You put it all back into the next one.
That's right. So if you haven't seen my book before, I'm redoing all 4 previous issues. I'm reprinting them. I'm boosting each issue to 32 pages, but that includes ads, so it's not necessarily story. It'll be physical 32 pages. So each floppy will have 32 physical pages to turn. That's issue 1 and 2. That's issue 3 and 4. issue 5's the issue I'm working on right now, and we're 21 out of 32 pages complete. Issue 6, I've got this crazy strange goal. Like, how did you feel per the first time you hit your 10K stretch goal? Like that first campaign.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, I mean, way back in the day, it was hitting like 8,000 maybe Earthbound, and I was like, $8,000. I'll never have to work again for the rest of my life.
But between my volume trade paper here, I'll show you. By the way, I'm all over the place, and I apologize everyone for this.
Okay.
So I was going to offer, and I don't mean to make a show all about me, but Per, if you give me your mailbox, I'll send you volume 1 for free, and you can flip through if you want to read through my book and just let me know. First time creator. And,
I would love that. That'd be awesome.
Issue 4. Yeah, I'd love to send them to you, and that way maybe if you back issue 5, I'll know you liked it. And if you didn't, I'll be like, "Oh shit, you didn't like it." But anyway, so I gladly send you those if you DM me your mail. But so I know I'm all over the place. So the issue 6 here that you see, that doesn't exist. That isn't in production. But I have the cover and the double page that you saw. If I hit 10,000, every backer gets issue 6 for free. Nice. That's my 10K stretch goal.
That's a big one. That'd be exciting. That means people should go for it or whatever. Yeah.
I think it's a unique proposition.
Yeah.
I think it's a way to just
Me and Gonzalo love creating. I don't want to stop. Me and Gonzalo love this routine where he basically, my artist, I give him the storyboard. Like, I'm not just a writer. I also I write in a unique way.
Oh, cool.
I do this for my artist. I don't know if you can see that.
I heard they do that in manga. They were saying that Rini was saying that yesterday.
So yes. So every week we have like a session, and I'll show him my panel layouts along with my script, and then he laughs at my panels, and then he redoes it his way, and then we go back and forth, and then we come to an agreement. Okay, perfect. And then he goes to his family farm, because obviously his parents are getting older. He takes care of the farm. He draws a page, comes back on Friday, and we do this literally every Friday. So I don't want to stop working once issue 5. I want to finish issue 6. I do. Gonzalo does. We want to get Soul Tack to all 9 issues. It really is my goal, and you know, I mean, I'd love to get there. So again, I don't want to make the show about me. I'm sorry, I'm stealing so much time.
When you're in the zone, keep going.
Yeah, and that kind of fast, consistent production is like nobody does it enough for us to have clear data but I feel like it totally works. It totally helps. And if more people could do it, they would. You know, it's just that's a huge advantage if you can do that.
Being retired military, I think this is where I was getting with that. I don't have much going on in my life. I don't. I take care of my family. I have an 8-year-old. I take care of my wife. I take care of my mom. I own the house. You know what I mean? Like, my bills are paid and I'm set for life, right? So what do you do when you're retired and money isn't really a problem, right? I sit and I make comic books and I host this show every week, and I love doing it. I enjoy doing it. I want it to keep going, and I don't want to stop. You know?
Cool. This show's grown since I was first on it too, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And your guys' rapport and the production and everything. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we're like the tortoise and the hare, right? Slow and steady, right? But
right. But so Per, imagine you're flipping through a comic book and you get to this house ad. Is it humanly possible to see this house ad and not want to go check out this book?
Yeah, that's super effective. I need to steal this a little bit for Earthbound. I'm gonna do a graphic like this and put it on the campaign, like a visualization of the whole series, because I was talking with Jake with Hyper Wizard, and he was explaining, he was kind of critiquing some of my page of where people might be confused, because it is like we can get into some of that, like what's even for sale or whatever. But yeah, I love this. This is great.
I even have an artist who's working with this. I did talk to him again, Jason. He apologized. He's working on it. So I'm taking this ad. I'm going to put like a Soul Tack banner and a QRC code on it. And then I'm going to turn this into a convention banner, a comic book ad, and also an ad I can post around my neighborhood. So I'll be putting it in pawn shops, grocery stores, you know, bars, anywhere where you can stick an ad. I'll stick that thing and hope that somebody scans a QR code and backs. I really want to hit 10K. Like, I'm not messing around. But I'm going to keep going, so the show's not all about me.
Is it live? Is Soul Tack live now, or is it going to launch?
No, I'm launching again this year. I'm aiming for
He's
May.
got to do the sign up. He's got to get the sign up set up soon. And
Okay.
Then we're going to be. Then I'll be helping him pimp the sign up.
Let me know when you guys launch too, because I'll have you on my channel. My channel's like smallish, but it's always good. It helps no matter what a little bit.
You've got dedicated people though. I mean, the people that watch your show, they're not there for drama. They like comics. They like what you're doing.
So I'm going to try to get through this because I'm stealing everyone's time.
Yeah.
Here's the 20 color pages that are done already. So again, we're on the last 11. And then here's the update I wanted to talk about. So there's the newest page. You see the line art. Nice. Misha Atsu's trying to make her way to Mars. She's trying to get there. She's dead set on getting there and getting back to Dexter. If you read the book, in the volume, Dexter kind of gets kidnapped by the AI horde and they take him to Mars and they're going to do horrible things to him. In the meanwhile, Misha's become the shogun of the Ashiko clan. She's now in charge. She's got an entire shogun army under her command, and she's made an invasion raid on Mars to basically rescue Dexter. So you see it. You see how me and Gonzalo went through, and we're spinning the cannons around. So it's creating like a tunnel of lasers, so she can get through that AI horde. She can get down the surface. And there's that last page. Oh shit! Sorry, Infinite. It's like spoilers. There's the last page, issue 5.
Very cool.
Oh,
Very
nice.
cool.
It's like
Cool.
that's the cliffhanger. No, that could be in heavy metal. They got some nice booty in that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So enough about me. We're 20 minutes in. I apologize. So first off, I wanted to show this thing off, and I showed it off previously, and I absolutely loved this idea when I had it. I was this genius. This is the genius of her. Like he took a simple page of paper, printed it, put a
Nice.
slit in it, and turn that into like, man, I want to do something like that with Soul Tack, or like it's just genius. Like, how much is the production cost on this?
It's like zero, and it's a little bit of time, but it's negligible. And I'm glad you like it because I was so excited when I thought about doing that for people, and then the reaction you don't always hear, so like, but I know some people will love it. Some people there's like, oh, cool, a mini comic, whatever. But yeah, some people it kind of blows their mind a little bit. I'm like, a free comic, and it's fun to think of what kind of content should be in the mini comic. Because I actually did one. We did one for Hotel Story where it was almost like a deleted scene that was actually like kind of important. So we're like, we might actually incorporate this into the actual book when we do the hardcover. But this one is more just for fun.
It's a perfect freebie to give someone, and it's got no additional production costs. But if I threw that in for every backer or something like that, absolutely, I love this stuff. I love it. But
better than a sticker.
Like a half hour in, and I'm stealing all the time. So I read this too, Jason.
Yeah,
I did get through this week. I absolutely loved it. So I've watched the original Nosferatu movie, and I mean, I've been a Dracula fan. I absolutely love Per's take on this. I would say, when I first started reading through the story, I could feel the modernized feelings, and there's little hints in it that this story is going to be different. But it's like near the last 10 pages where you can tell he just totally takes over the story. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to give it away, but it just becomes about basically Nosferatu and Jonathan basically talking together about Mary. But the story gets great. It talks about the plague. And like I said, it's a really good take. I really enjoyed it, especially how you change the story around and you make it your own on the last 10 pages. Brilliantly written, Per. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. I really enjoyed Nosferatu.
Thank you.
I wanted to read through Hotel Story 1 and 2 this week as well. I flipped through this. I found, and I was mentioning to Per at the beginning of the story, his comics aren't like mine, where you can just there's several pages that are just like wham, bam, pow, smash. There's no reading required for several pages. I found with Per, you really have to dedicate your time. You have to get rid of all your background distractions. You can't have a movie or a show going. Each of his pages, you really have to give 100% attention. You have to read the story. You have to take it in. You have to understand what's happened on that page before you move on to the next page. So yeah, I tried flipping through Hotel Story, and I realized, no, it's going to require 100% attention. But I will have it read the next time you come on, Per. I promise.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, Hotel Story, it starts like kind of wheels to the pavement or whatever. It tries to introduce 12 characters in 12 pages in one scene. So it's cutting around the room as everyone's talking, and so it's ambitious kind of. Yeah. And it just takes, you can't speed read it probably.
Yes. Yeah. But again, we're 26 minutes in. I'm sorry I've stolen so much time.
No problem.
It's your turn, Per. If there's anything you'd like to share or you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, I'll just share what I was showing Jason and Mad Ruth. I'm reading
Rick Veitch.
The Wand. This is from 1985. Rick Veitch. It's Watchmen-esque, but pre-Watchmen, like 1980s, obsessed with nuclear war and stuff. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. These like older comics, good older comics, are really fun to get in touch with once in a while or whatever.
So I typically recommend anything by Rick Veitch, but the other one to get that's from that era is Heartburst. It's one of the Marvel OGNs. I always say that Heartburst is better than Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar. So hunt that down. You could probably get it for like $5-10 on eBay. It's called. I highly recommend it. But I still like Rick Veitch. The past 5 or 6 years, he's been publishing things via Amazon, print on demand. So twice a year, he comes out with like 100-page black and white continuation of the the Brad Pack and Max Immortal, or he'll do his Dream Comics. Highly recommend it. So love The One. Fantastic.
Cool. That's cool. He's still doing comics. And that's cool that you're in touch with that. That's like a level of indie comics that I was not aware of. It definitely goes deep. It's cool.
Check it out.
Going on out there.
Oh yeah. One person watches the show, Carmen Legend. If you see him in the chat, he shows me every week these indie books that he buys. He shows me books I've never seen, I've never heard of, I've never seen these artists. There is a segment of the indie comic community that we are completely disconnected with.
Craig, I would have no problem with 1 week having him on just to give his like 10 recommendations. Like I've got no problem with that. And that might be a way for us to just discover some other creators and stuff like that. So hit him up, ask him if he wants to come on and just show off his prized possessions from his library.
Speaking of, we all are crowdfunding comics, and we're all interested in like marketing, obviously. And I've noticed that there's like bubbles, and the bubbles can kind of almost create like a glass ceiling, and of where I've thought of it as almost like a glass ceiling of word of mouth, where you can actually get really, really good reviews where everyone's telling everyone about it. It still might not crack into another like ecosphere.
I know, right? Like Nerdrotic is always saying like there's YouTubers with like 70 million people watching them he's never heard of, right? It's so big, and the idea is just be open to the universe and keep networking and connecting, because there's for early, people who are early in their career can be frustrated because they feel like they're not getting anywhere. It's just a matter of persistence, because to your point, there's so many people. There's 8 billion people in the world. They all need to be entertained several times a week, and that's why we're here, guys. We'll find them eventually, and they'll find us.
Yeah, it's like believing in yourself and being at peace with a small audience for now is part of it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely a matter of being in tune with your motivations, what it is that's motivating you, how it is you want the world to perceive you, staying focused, and then being like a freight train, being indestructible, staying on your path, not letting anything getting in your way or deter you or bring you down or make you want to quit. These are my goals. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to keep grinding and grinding and grinding. I think
everything you're saying is like what streamers say once they get big. They're like, I would have done it for free and anyway, and then they end up kind of making it, but you're just kind of in a place where you're not going to give up because you're just chipping away.
I just love doing it. I want to finish Soultac. I would love to have all 9 issues done. That would be an achievement for me. I'd be very proud of that. So,
but not just for you, that's finishing a series or getting to 9 is super rare and really good if you can do that. So
So, do we want to do the baseline or do we want to do the chat?
Let's baseline real quick.
Okay.
Because we're a ways into the show, which is fine.
I stole a lot of time. I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's all good.
So brought it up. Here we are.
I think yours at like 77, even like.
77.
We'll take credit. So we can almost we believe in stolen valor. So I will call it. I will trust our guest, Craig, and I'll say baseline 77. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so we're going to definitely hit 80, and we're hoping to hit 4,700. I think that would be great. 80 backers, 4,700. I think we're definitely going to pass that. Let me grab the link again. So the link to Grand Prix is pinned.
Whoa, we just went up, you guys. That's crazy.
So the link is pinned to the top of the chat, and I'm going to throw it in the comments. Again, Jason used to do a lot of this for me. Speed
Yeah. So Per, I refuse to pay the exorbitant cost of StreamYards. They tried to renew me at like $40 a month. I'm in the process of kind of moving my stuff over to Rumble. And once I get the bugs worked out, I'll show Craig Rumble, and maybe we'll move the show to Rumble. But basically, he's now doing all the production. I used to be able to help him with the buttonology and all that kind of stuff, but he's kind of he's
I did the exact same thing. I quit my StreamYard subscription. Yeah.
What did they try to renew you at? Like $50 or $40 or?
Yeah, it was like 40 maybe. And there was something where like they tried a lot. I was like, no. And they're like, well, wait. What about like 20 a month? I'm like, okay. And I did that for a little bit. I was like, you know what? No, even that is a lot. So I'm out.
All right, Craig, speaking of the chat, who's watching us tonight?
So first and foremost, Jason was first in chat. Told us to hang on. He had to snort some dinner. In the outro video, I tried to put that snorting story. I could not put the physical. If you want to watch her snorting on YouTube, you go ahead. It physically made me sick, Jason, just watching the video. Okay. I could not.
Ladies and gentlemen, Craig here can stare all day at whale dicks. He has got no problem with that, but a woman eating through her sinuses is a bridge too far. We now know what requires a trigger warning for Craig.
That's right. Yeah. It's true. I admit it. I have my weaknesses. Vulcan says, "Happy Friday nights." Hail Vulcan again. He's our fourth night in that in our picture, as far as I'm concerned. Who else is joining us? Here's Michael. Have you been on any of Michael's streams, Per, by chance? He's got a book called Cool It.
No, yeah, Michael, I want to follow you and come on your stream if you do streams, maybe.
Yeah, he's really cool. Like, he's awesome dude. He's got an awesome book called Cool It. The story premise behind it is really cool. It's this girl. She's a scientist, and she's really good at science stuff. And what does she want to make the money for, Jason? Do you remember?
Her roommate takes out a second mortgage on her lab. So in order to save her lab, instead of she does like a gladiatorial contest to win back the money to pay off the second mortgage on her lab.
Well, that sounds amazing. She uses her science abilities to enhance herself physically, so she can win these contests, so she can make money to pay off the mortgage.
Is it a manga or is it a comic or both? Or
I haven't it hasn't published it yet. I mean, he hasn't printed yet, but if you check out his channel, you can watch some trailers. I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's pure comics.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Or sounds awesome.
And then Michael's also mentioning next week he has a review of both Jupiter and Soltac. Thank you. RJ Williams also did a review for me with AI too. Thank you so much, everyone, for signal boosting all of our books, Jupiter, Soltac, whatever it is. It is the only way we get the word out and get more backers and are able to keep funding our books and keep going. It's shows like this and everybody pitching in, lending a hand, getting the word out. Thank you. I can't say it enough times. But really appreciate it. That's what this community is all about, is all of us supporting each other. Infinite Entertainment saying, hello, lads. Hail to you as well, Infinite. Thank you so much for joining us.
What's up, Infinite? Infinite does voice work for some of my animation, and he has a book coming out this spring.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I think Infinite hit me up as well to come on my show. As you know, absolutely. You just hit me up in the DMs. If you've got a new campaign coming, we will get you in. We will get you on the show. That's what this show is all about.
Cool.
Boosting and supporting indie comics. That's what we do. Digital Aboriginal says hello from the left as hell. Is he talking about Minnesota? No, I'm kidding. Yes. Or Canada.
I'll say that I'm in an outer ring suburb. I drive through Minneapolis. He lives in one of the two majors. He lives in the Twin Cities. He's right there, and he's been seeing the decline for he's had a front row seat for the decline for 15, 20 years.
So some of those videos in my opening could have been happening outside his living room window.
His alley,
yeah.
He might have been in the background of some of them.
Could have been.
That's wild. So I'm going through some of the conversations. Here's again my good friend Seth Gaming says Soltac is excellent. Thank you so much. again, it means I hired a creative team to carry me. I knew I was the weak link as the writer, as a first-time comic book creator, but I hired the most talented people I could find. And I didn't just haphazardly grab random people. Like my artist for Soltac, I went through 300 portfolios, and I must have vetted people to see if we could get along for about 3 months before me and Gonzalo. He's in Chile, by the way, but he's like a Pinochet type Chilean. Like he believes in throwing communists from helicopters. So me and him get along just fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, he loves doing Soltac. Again, we just want to finish the whole series, and even SF Gaming agrees with me that that's awesome. I agree. Crenshaw's joining us as well. He says, "Sup, dudes." Hail to you as well, Crenshaw. Thank you so much.
Yo, Crenshaw.
And then SF Gaming was saying that cover is unbelievable. I don't know if he was talking about the one.
I think it was the Nosferatu. I think it was the Nosferatu cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hardcover has like a high concept cover kind of thing. But yeah.
Infinite Entertainment saying Hotel Story is so much fun. So he really loves your book.
Ooh, thanks,
Infinite. And these comments I'm just reading now. So this is an apt description of setting the proper environment for reading Per's work. Oh, what I was describing. Yeah, you can't have distractions when you're reading Per's book. It's not something you can do on the side. You have to give it 100% attention.
It's not like Netflix on a second screen.
That's right. Which is the story of my life. I've got like 3 TVs going at the same time, always.
You're like you are Hunter S. Thompson. You're the reincarnation of Hunter S. Thompson.
That's a very good compliment.
Yeah.
Infinite Game is saying highly recommend Rick Veitch's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, he did like a dozen issues, I think.
Cool.
And again, I'm just trying to speed the show because I'm watching the clock. I'm like, oh my god, we're supposed to be 90 minutes. Crenshaw's telling us we got to restream, boys, restream. Does he mean like
an app? It must be an app or a platform or something like that. I assume it's some sort of studio.
Okay, maybe yeah. We'll check it out.
Yeah, gotcha. That's like a instead alternative to
or
StreamYard,
or it's the Hindu thing where you drink your urine. One of the two.
And you're saying Crenshaw says he wants to do voice work. Maybe when I work with good stuff, I am going to take Jason's advice. I'm going to make a couple shorts for Soltac, and I'm going to do a trailer. I'm doing all that through good stuff, but maybe I'll go all out and hire voice actors.
Per, you're the voice of sanity, Per, and you're a bit younger than us. So you're closer to the hip scene. I have repeatedly told Craig that one of his strengths is video editing, and I said, Craig, you're good at video editing, and it's the TikTok age, and you have this wonderful IP, this beautiful visual IP of Soltac
that I never share or launch campaigns for.
I think that what Craig should do is he should be grinding out 1 or 2 30-second TikTok length shorts of the Soltac art, just the Soltac art floating from panel to panel, zooming in, zooming out, quick cuts, cool music behind it, and just start sending them out there into the ether, because I think that will increase his discoverability and will play to his strengths. And Soltac is too beautiful not to be seen. Am I way off base, or am I hitting a home run, Per?
I think that's a good idea. Another thing that not too many people are doing it, so we don't have enough data to know it works, but someone needs to try it. And I think that's a good idea. So yeah, especially if you got the skills.
I will do it, Jason. I will get there. I'm very much like the tortoise. It just takes me time. I think once I'm done production on issue 4, that will free up the free time that I have, and then I will concentrate on doing shorts and stuff and starting to actually get Soltac out there instead of pushing my political nonsense on X that nobody wants to read. Push Soltac, push Soltac. Right. I know these things, and I apologize to anyone who has to deal with my.
do what makes you happy, have fun, but the trolling morons on Twitter is not going to fix the world.
This is true. Again, Jason's joining us as well. So it's 3 great panels on it. Again, there's the first.
When's Frog G coming out?
Frog G2? Very soon. Yeah, they're wrapping it up, so it won't be long till we get Frog.
Thank you for hanging.
I'm excited for that one. It looks so good.
Yeah.
I wonder what
all the creators. I love this community.
That's another one that kind of maybe underperformed, unfortunately, because it looks so amazing. I don't know what the final numbers were, but I want it to do so good. It looks amazing.
Jason's weighing, and he says, when the inks are done.
Yeah.
Inks are done.
Cool.
Yeah. Ink spots. He's talking about ink spots. Yeah. And then Michael was also saying, yeah. So.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice. So, okay, cool. I think I'm through the chat, and we're 40 minutes in already. So we're going to have to.
So minute 41, we're going to do a little thing that we've been doing called the countdown to 300 for the Savage Dragon. So Craig's going to bring up the slide. Yeah,
but stop hitting the wrong buttons all the time. Okay, here we go.
So ladies and gentlemen, Eric Larson, love him, hate him, you got to respect him. He is on the road to break Dave Sims' a record of 300 self-published issues. Spawn doesn't count. It's a studio book. And so I last year, Q4 of 2024 through this past summer, I did a complete reread of the Savage Dragon. I would dip in and dip out and so forth. I arrived at a newfound respect and admiration and love for the Savage Dragon. So as each of these issues come out, I'm happy to see them. I'm enjoying them. I'm having fun, which is what comic books are about. And so this is a shout out to issue 278. In issue 278 of the Savage Dragon, this is the third of 4 solo stories focused on the Savage Dragon's grandchildren. This one is Tyrone, and he basically hangs out with Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm sorry, Public Domain Popeye. So
full screen here.
So apparently Popeye's now in the public domain. So the Savage Dragon's grandson hangs out with Popeye. They beat up
spinach.
no, but they're fighting some underwater sea creature guys who are trying to eat a surfer. And then you may recall, you're gonna want to make me full screen again just for a second.
Okay.
You may recall that several months ago in the issues of Savage Dragon, public domain Mickey Mouse was sexually harassing Tyrone's mom, Maxine. Sure enough, public domain Mickey Mouse shows up trying to find her to try to buy her off to drop the lawsuit.
Nice.
Again, respect and admiration and love to Eric Larson. We will continue to document your countdown to issue 300 and beyond. Check out the Savage Dragon. If you love comic books, check out the Savage Dragon and have some fun.
That's the only Image 90s comic I didn't collect back in the day.
All right, Craig, crazy week. What is the first of the 3 most important news stories that flew under the radar? And we will go quickly through the ones that aren't about Sal Buscema.
Yeah, because we're going to have to get ourselves back on time here. Okay, so first and foremost comes to us from my UPI, a Vancouver story. However, they've done these failure museums in the past. This is not a unique idea. Vancouver's Museum of Personal Failure finds victory in defeat. So what these people have done is they've solicited their community. They took up a piece of, I guess there's a lot of available interior store space inside shopping malls. Who would have thought of that?
Nowadays, because of Amazon.
Right. So basically took a section of store space because they got all these open stores, converted it into a museum of failure, solicited his community for, hey, does anyone in our community had something that they failed at working on? Put it together and created his own museum. So what do you think of that? Is that a winning philosophy or a losing philosophy?
Per, how do we fit the city of San Francisco inside that museum?
Can
that be done?
Yeah, just a city of nothing but museum of failure.
Turn the city
meta. It's synecdoche. Yeah, it's like that cartoon you did. Like it zooms in on the house and there's another one inside of
it. Someone poops on the street. It belongs in a museum. No, I'm just kidding.
I have to rewatch Synecdoche. That movie kind of haunted me for the weekend that I watched. Kind of haunted me. I gotta check it out again. Craig. The only thing that can make this more crazy is for you to tell me this was taxpayer funded.
Yeah, you're right.
It probably is.
If politicians could make a buck on it, it would be, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I guarantee. If you could shovel a couple $100 million and hide it, it would be. Yes.
So I read this one and I actually like the idea, but this idea is like libtard coded. I want failure. Like I want a man who did too much coke and lost $10 million on the stock market or something. Needs to be in the corner of the magazine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is this really just like taking the shameful confessions of like an AA meeting and just making it public? Is that
Available to the
truly what
public.
this is?
Pretty much, yes, it is. It is in the outro. It does take a big part of it, so you can watch. There's about 3 stories on 3 of the things that are in the museum, and you're just like, yeah, why? I'm like, I don't know. Like, me personally, my own failures, I don't regret them. I don't regret my biggest mistakes, because that's where my biggest learning occurred. The most stupidest things I ever done was the biggest lesson that resonated with me for the rest of my life. But I would never go around advertising those things to people. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, anything too juicy that would actually be pretty fun, I don't think anyone would like put up there or whatever.
Right.
So, like, I accidentally killed a homeless guy.
I know.
Whatever. My biggest failure.
I missed. SF Gaming said it was typical of Mickey, by the way. You were mentioning the Savage Dragon, and then Crenshaw says just the fire. We need an ode to the Fire Fest.
All right. Given this 50 minutes past the hour, let's move on to topic number 2.
Yeah, we'd love to hit that. We're going to make up time. So this is the one that grossed me out, Jason. I just want to add that sometimes I do the news stories. This week is 100% Jason's news topics. I just want to let everyone check.
So Craig, what's going on here? What's happening here?
So this one came to us from the New York Post and Jason. Okay. I snort all of my food from omelets to steak. It feels phenomenal, even though I'm at risk of infections. So her doctors have been telling her, don't do this. She's going on dates. So there's a whole story and there's videos of it. So she was dating this guy, Justin. She didn't give him a warning, went to a restaurant with him, asked the waitress if she could puree her food, and then proceeded to snort her drink in front of him. It's completely mortified because she's kind of got some notoriety. Like, the story is now global. Justin has ghosted her. Justin wants nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, the quote at the bottom, what does he say? He goes, I can't stomach watching how Catherine eats her food. I can't promise a bright future for us.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Perry, help me out. If she sneezes, does that constitute bulimia?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, in David Lynch's Dune, the navigator eats the spice and changes over the years. Yeah. Like, that's going to happen to her. Like, something in her body's going to change because she's totally changing how it works, and she's going to look different in like 60 years. Her nose will be like really big or something, or reinforced.
There's going to be inflammation and infections and all that kind of stuff.
And it's just gross. It's gross. Like, she doesn't, like, piddle comes out of her nose and
now,
like, oh.
Okay. So I've heard stories about people that have like really bad broken jaws or whatever, and they'll snake a tube up the nostril down to the back of the throat. Is that how this started? Is that why how she got the idea?
The story behind this, it started off with a dare. Someone dared her to snort something from her mouth, and the minute she snorted it, she said that the overwhelming taste sensation, basically it was the rush she got from it. She got addicted to that rush, and then she just
She said it was the fruitiness too. So she wants maximum fruit taste for her like artificial fruit flavors that are in the puree or whatever. So actually, you know what it's like? It's like if she snorts like what's the tasteless fizzy waters? What's one of those?
Oh, bubble,
like a LaCroix.
Water or whatever. Yeah.
It's like she can snort a LaCroix and she's like, it's like actual juice now when I snort it.
So Craig, does this mean she saves money on not having to brush her teeth?
No, this causes all kinds of health problems. The doctors don't do it. You're destroying your nasal cavity, the infections. And then SF Gaming wanted to mention, he says, Justin speaks for all of us and the doctors. Don't do this. Don't do it. And then SF Gaming is saying as well, anything can be a drug if you try it hard enough. Yeah, that's true. And then we were all dared to snort Fun Dip powders, but it didn't become our personality.
Yeah. Well, she got written up in New York Post. I wonder if she'll stop one day, because it does sound like she
is weaning herself of it. Yeah, her most recent updates is she is seeking psychological help, thank God, and she has doing it a lot less.
Actually, I don't know. I think she needs to just go deeper. When you're in hell, keep going, they say. And she might meet, like, she needs to meet a man who snorts just as much as she does, and then they can
shared hobby.
They can snort out of each other's nostrils like like a romantic date or whatever. Where
they're at the malt shop and there's the 2 straws out of the malt.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I'm telling you, watch it on YouTube. It is
So
gross.
I think we've all like had a nacho cheese, never a Cool Ranch, but like a nacho cheese chip, or we maybe coughed and some of the stuff comes up the back and you walk, it causes that little tingly headache, and then you kind of and then eventually it clears. We've all experienced that. Maybe it was the thrill of that. Maybe that same sense of thrill is what she's kind of getting off on, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe Crenshaw weighed in as well. Her boyfriend is going to be very confused.
So Craig, what were you saying about you watched the YouTube video?
Yeah, you can watch her. You can watch. Just type in snorting addiction or whatever on YouTube, and you can watch her doing it. Let's see if you can make it through the video. I'm curious. It's about 5 minutes long. You let me know if you can endure it, because I could not. I about 10 seconds in, I was out of there. I'm not clipping this. But I can't do it. Hold on. Jason's weighing in as well. Cool Ranch is a bit. There you go. Another Cool Ranch. Vulcan thinks it's funny, by the way. He's laughing. Do you want to get through the story again, because we're at 52 minutes?
All right, let's go. Let's look at the third story.
Okay, so our third and final story for this evening we want to talk about is the death of Sal Buscema.
I just want to hear what you guys have to say, because I don't know him that well. So
I don't either. This is a Jason story, other than I know that it was on his 90th birthday that they found him.
So this one, I knew this one was coming, right? Because we lost John Buscema, we've lost Stan Lee, lost Jack Kirby, obviously years ago. I knew this one was coming, and this one really kind of hit me hard. I was very happy though to see the outpouring, all the people, and what's fantastic, what's wonderful about Sal Buscema is you got the Spider-Man fans, you got the Hulk fans, you got so many people pouring out love for him and all the great memories that he gave us by illustrating so many comics. So I wanted to take a look at this. So Craig, could you bring up the slide deck?
Yep.
So Sal Buscema, younger brother of John Buscema, and John Buscema got him into comics at Marvel. Sometimes in the early work, if you looked at the faces, you could kind of be on the fence to tell whether or not it was John or Sal. But as they progressed, Sal kind of developed his own style, his own shorthand. He was famous. Both of Buscemas were famous because when they were behind on a deadline, they would call up either John or Sal, and they would quickly, within a week or so, finish, do a complete comic. Sometimes ship in a couple pages at a time. I recall there was this one story, and I don't know if it was Roy Thomas or somebody like that at the Marvel Studios, but basically there were several books that were behind schedule, and they gave each of them three comics, and they were doing, it was like a race. Like every day it would be 4 pages, 4 pages from John, 5 pages from Sal, 4 pages from John, and they were basically like, it was like a race, like a race on on like the leaderboard or whatever to get up there. So
nice.
Just a fantastic energetic artist.
Did eventually get to the point where their pages were blended, their artwork styles were blended, and you couldn't tell which brother it was, or
it was harder to tell them apart in the late 60s, but then they began to branch out, be different. And I chose for the splash here, obviously a shot of the Hulk. This is a great panel because it's a double page spread. It's got that Sal Buscema energy, and then there's the famous Sal Buscema punch where the character's punching somebody and someone's flying over towards the camera. So if you read a lot of Sal comics, you're going to see this panel layout reoccur. It's kind of an ongoing motif.
You don't see the impact, but it was a waboo.
Yeah,
cool.
Just beautiful. All right, and then so can you go to the next slide?
Yeah.
So here's some pictures of Sal from when he was younger and in recent years, and we're going to kind of go through the different eras here and do some call outs. But you can just he's one of those guys. You look at him, he's like nice guy. Our pal Sal, you would have loved to have had him as an uncle or as a neighbor. I've never heard any bad stories about him. Everybody loved working with him, and just a sweet man.
Mm.
All right, next. Okay, so he was doing some fill-in work for Marvel on like the Submariner series and things like that. His first real breakout was a short run on the Avengers with Roy Thomas. What I'm doing here is I'm telling you what to go hunt down. If you're not familiar with Sal Buscema, go hunt these down. This is a 2-issue story arc with the Avengers against Kang the Conqueror, and he's kind of pitting them against different teams. So issue 70, he's fighting. This is the introduction of the Squadron Sinister, which was the stand-in for the Justice League, and then issue 71. He has the current day Avengers go back and fight the invaders from World War II. So good little 2-issue story arc. Go check this out. But this run on Avengers, I think is when he first kind of broke out a bit, where he got a little. This is probably his first high profile gig, right? And I think he only did like 6 issues of the Avengers with Roy Thomas, but they're all fantastic. Go check those out. All right, next slide. All right, so then after the Avengers run, he did a long run. He did 2 runs on Captain America. The first one was after Gene Colan. From Gene Colan's issues of like up to like 120, 125, up until 193 when Jack Kirby came back to Marvel. That was the first long run of Sal Buscema on Captain America. I always say that any 1970s Captain America comics are good comics. They're not going to disappoint. Sal was a big part of that. Go hunt down either of these stories, these arcs. You're not going to be disappointed. He had a good, solid run on Captain America, but then he left the book when Jack Kirby came back in 1975. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next slide.
Wow.
So 1975, he jumps off of Cap because Jack Kirby comes back. He then begins a long run on the Hulk. He was the artist on the Hulk pretty much from issue 194 to issue 309, beginning to work with Lin Wein and Roger Stern. Then he started working with Bill Mantlo. He and Bill Mantlo are a powerhouse team in the Bronze Age. In this era of decompressed storytelling, you should go back and look at what Sal Buscema and Bill Mantlo could do. They did a fantastic job at 1 and 2 issue story arcs, telling satisfying, good stories, 1 or 2 issues, just absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it. For a lot of people like myself, Sal Buscema's Hulk is the Hulk. Highly recommend it. You can't go wrong anywhere between issue 194 and 309. Go check it out. Now, he often was so valuable as an interior artist. They had other people like Al Milgrom do the covers. In this era, it was a lot of Frank Miller and Al Milgrom doing covers. So Sal was doing the interior work, but just fantastic. Can't go wrong. Go check out his run on the Hulk. All right.
Oh, I've got a couple of these.
Yeah, I know. So as you probably know, Rom was a toy, and basically the I think it was Hasbro. They went to Marvel and they said, "Hey, we want to do a comic book about this character. All we're going to tell you is he's got these different weapons, and he's like a robot." So Bill Mantlo and Sal Buscema had to make a backstory, had to make a world for Rom. So Rom takes place in the Marvel universe. It started out as a toy gimmick. But within, a couple of months, the toy had faded in popularity. But this title ran 75 issues. Mm-hmm. Sal Buscema did most of the artwork. Go ahead.
I just want to jump in a couple of comments. Jason just weighed in there. He said Sal did finishes on Simonson on Thor for 380, and it's one of his favorite issues. And then Well-Read User, another person I know from way back, says now he's finally seen me. Yeah, the whole controversy of was Mad Ruth a dude or a chick? I kind of knew that was going on. I let that play out for a while. But yeah, Hale, thank you as well for coming and joining us. Well-read.
Thank you for dropping in. Yeah. When it comes to Rom, Sal Buscema did most of the artwork on Rom. I'm going to call out this 2-issue story arc. Mm-hmm. Issues 26 and 27. The elevator pitch is Galactus eventually comes to Galador, the homeworld of Rom and the Space Knights, and he's obviously going to consume the planet. Issue 26, Rom defeats Terex the Tamer. And then Galactus is like, well, okay, I'm gonna eat your planets regardless. And Rom says, hey, I'll be your herald. Issue 27, he's the herald of Galactus. And what does he do? He leads Galactus to the homeworld of the Dire race, the mortal enemies of Rom. I'm not going to spoil it and tell you what happens. It is a fantastic 2-issue story arc. This is peak Bronze Age, telling a fantastic, satisfying story in just 2 issues. Highly recommend 26 and 27. Go check out Rom.
Sweet.
Okay. Then after Kirby left with issue 214, issue 215, Sal Buscema is back on Captain America. Another fantastic run. Can't go wrong. Go check out any of these issues. He's on the book, I think, until John Byrne takes over. So go check this out. A fantastic run on the second run on Captain America.
So we're pushing into the 80s now.
Yep. 79. Yep. Yeah. His next significant long run was on the Spectacular Spider-Man. Now, he did the first issue of Spectacular Spider-Man, and in the first 50 issues, he was on there every 5th book or so as kind of like a pitch hitter. His long,
I got a couple of these as well. I got to go figure out who the artists are in my copies. Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff. So issue 135 to 238, pretty much the entire thing. Sal is either doing the artwork and the inks or just the artwork. Sometimes Bill Sienkiewicz is inking him. This is a fan favorite. Now this happened during the Clone Saga, so there was a bit of extra attention and heat on the Spectacular Spider-Man. The other thing that's interesting is when you can tell that Sal is he started doing penciling during the Silver Age, then he's a peak Bronze Age artist. As the whole 90s things happening, the Image things happening, he's looking around and he's kind of playing with his art style a little bit. And there's a bit of like, you can tell that he's aware of like Rob Liefeld. He's like, this is what the kids want.
So breaking the fourth wall, right? It's getting out the box panels all, nicely and neat, because that's kind of the big thing the Image did. But
and you can tell that he's like, okay, I'm gonna absorb what Todd McFarlane was doing on Spider-Man. So that starts to creep into the work. I know a lot, just based on sheer sales volume, a lot of people probably know Sal from the Spectacular Spider-Man run.
So those are the books I was ignoring when I was buying only Image, because that was a big right.
Now, what happened is when they get into the 2000s, he was getting older. He said, "You know what? I don't have to think so hard. I'm done penciling. I'm just going to be an inker." And the person who wanted to work with him the most was Ron Frenz, right? So a lot of times Ron Frenz would do the pencils because Ron channeled the Buscema Bronze Age style, like John and Sal. So he had like a second career as just an inker. I'm calling out Spider-Girl because he did an extended run as an inker on Spider-Girl. Spider-Girl is very interesting because it gives evidence to the short-sightedness of Marvel. With Spider-Girl happens in this thing called the M2. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. See, I had 2 drinks on the go, Jason. I'm finished my gin by the way. It's all gone.
So in the late 90s, early 2000s, Marvel does this M2 thing where they have got 4 titles that take place in the future. It's like the future Marvel universe. Spider-Girl started as a what if issue. The fan response was so big they gave it her own title and started the M2 universe. Now, what was happening was that the boys that were going to the LCS, some of them were reading this, right? But it wasn't setting the world on fire. But what was happening is that when Marvel would collect the Spider-Girls into trade volumes, they were flying off the shelves. They were effectively the manga craze that hit 10, 15 years later. That was happening with Spider-Girl. So what kept happening is that the editorial at Marvel would say, hey, DeFalco, Friends, Buscema, you've got 6 more issues of Spider-Girl. You better wrap it up because we're going to cancel it. Then the other salespeople would say, hey, we got the sales orders on the trades. Keep the title going. We need more material for the trade, right? So Marvel kept stringing them along, and it speaks to the short-sightedness of Marvel, because when you jump ahead another 15, 20 years, they want to get female readers. They want to get high schoolers and kids reading comics again. They had lightning in the bottle with Spider-Girl. the boys weren't reading it. The girls were. They loved it. There was a huge fan base, loyal fan base. These things, if Marvel had done what they should have done, these trades could have been in Target, could have been in Walmart. They could have created another generation of comic book readers, Marvel fans. But because it wasn't what the fanboys wanted, they didn't nurture it. And it goes to that short-sightedness of I only want my ideas to be successful. And that's been the problem. If you look at what Jim Lee said last week, if you look at the Joe Quesada mentality, they're not listening to the customer. They want to be right. They're not responding to what the customer wants. They want the customer to want what they want. And it's arrogant and short-sighted. And it has led to where the mainstream comic book industry is today with struggling to compete against manga. Spider-Girl was effectively a proto manga title that was flying off the shelves in actual bookstores and with high schoolers, and they neglected it. They let it wither on the vine.
Yeah, it's so strange because sorry, I don't want to go off on a tangent. I'll let Jason go here first. He says almost a precursor to the Ultimate line.
Yeah.
But I was just going to go back to my time, going back to the 90s and remembering what it was like. I had my once a week run where I would go to the Blockbuster and I'd go to the wall and the new releases, right? And what new movies are here that is excitement. Nobody's influencing me. I'm deciding which ones I'm going to buy. I would go to the video game store. What new video games are out for the PlayStation? And I would grab one of those, go head down to the comic book store. What's on the back wall? What's the new releases for those, right? Every week you grab a fistful of comics, a couple new releases from the Blockbuster, and a new PlayStation game. You know what I mean? That was when things were awesome. I didn't care about politics. I didn't care about any of this bullshit in the world. It was just feed me whatever entertainment that I can choose that's at my fingers and at my availability. Streaming services do that, but it seems to be the book market hasn't figured it out yet. And that was just the one thing I wanted to add to what you were saying.
Absolutely. And they are the Marvel Epic line, Epic. They are reprinting the Spider-Girl. This one came out in the fall, and I think there's like 4 or 5 more to go. So if you want to see what maybe you missed back in the day, it's great. It's just good comics. It's Ron Friends, Tom DeFalco, and Sal Buscema, and then Pat Olaf did titles as well. With regards to the M2 line, the other title I highly recommend was A Next. It was basically the Future Avengers, and it was Tom DeFalco and Ron Friends. I don't think Sal inked it. I highly recommend it. It was like 12 issues. Go check that out. That stands up. That's fantastic. It was like one of the last echoes of Bronze Age comics. Highly recommend it. All right. Now let's look at Sal's last year's. So Sal was actually doing independent comics through Sit Comics and then this Apex thing. He was always inking Ron Friends, and I was picking these up, greatly enjoying them. Obviously, a lot of some of it was kind of crowdfunded. A lot of it struggled to get into comic book stores, but just up until like a year or two ago, Sal was continuing to ink. And these are just some titles that people can hunt down. I highly recommend Mr. The Right Project. Good premise. It's like 24 pages with 3 8-page stories. I recommend you go check that out. And just kind of any of the comics that I showed here, take it as an opportunity to go commune with the spirit of Sal Buscema. Read one of his comics and just kind of get on that wavelength. You won't be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's our third story. Sorry, Per. There's a whole lot of talking and not back and forth. Hope you don't mind that.
No, it's good. It's fascinating. So,
All right.
So that's it. So rest in peace, Sal Buscema, and thank you for the hours and hours and hours and thousands of pages of entertainment and escapism and just good human dignity and fantastic comics. Thank you, Sal.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're an hour and 10 minutes. We're sort of eating into your time, but I think that's okay. Again, like I said, there's just never enough time, Jason, and this show is only 90 minutes. So we do have the trailer, however, and I haven't been watching the campaign, so we can't really do the Friday night bump thing because Kickstarter it automatically updates itself on its own. But we did say baseline is 77, right? But we can all take a bit of a break here because I've got it for the 48 that we're watching. Drop down to 47, probably for a break. But here is the trailer for Grand Prix Volume 1. Yes. Wow.
I did that all in Blender, and now I forgot how to do it all, so I can never do it again.
So this is issue 3 of 6. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is it going to be 6
And
issues?
this collects the first trade. So it's
Okay.
there's brand new content is issue 3. It's like 55 pages, a double issue kind of thing. And then people can also get the trade as a brand new book also being offered, which is issues 1, 2, and 3 combined. And I've been tinkering with the best way to like write that. And I think when I'm going to add like tomorrow, I'm still kind of adding I want to add a little visual map of like the books and the series, kind of like what Mad Ruth has for.
Yep. That Soul Tack thing. Jason
Yeah.
created that. I can't even take credit. Jason made that. So
It's a house ad.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll try and make like a house ad for this for Earthbound for Grand Prix.
Yeah, because you got so many. Like, how many books do you have under? Like, you've got like 499 too. There's so much stuff you've put out over the past.
Yeah. If you include your boy Zach's the books Narzak stuff, then it's like easily over 1,000 pages, and it's like 10, 15 books even. But then even of my own stuff, it's getting to be because it's been almost 10 years now too of like kind of making comics and crowdfunding, and there's a lot of trades. It's almost someone was telling me that Jay Kuiper Wizard said I should make a tier that offers just all my books, and I was like, I think that's I don't know if I can exactly do that because there's just so many. It would be so heavy, and I don't know if that everyone has one book, so I don't know if they'd want to buy it, kind of thing, like. But yeah.
It's one of those things that you just do, like if you're in between campaigns and you don't have anything on the go. Just like, hey, I've got I don't know do you keep an overprint or do you flush all that overprint out?
I was doing that early on when I was a little more flush with the golden age of crowdfunding. That was definitely ordering extras and putting them in storage.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit less of that nowadays. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I was going to say, if people do have like a significant it doesn't hurt to just throw a random campaign out there, throw a couple books on, see if you can unload some of your overprint, recover your money. I would recommend that to anybody.
Yeah, totally. Do kind of a second chance. And it can even be a second print or a second cover even. But I do like try and get each book to have something like that. Like Nosferatu, the one that you backed it, Craig, was the second offering kind of thing.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it's great. I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Yeah.
So I'm going to keep scrolling again. If there's anything you want me to stop at or go to, feel free to let me know with your campaign.
There's some sample pages. The book is the art's all done except for one page I'm finishing up. Jason, like you were saying, I realized I got to add a page because it's kind of like it ends on essentially like a cliffhanger, and cliffhangers are a little bit touchy. Because you can actually annoy or make the audience mad if it's like almost like too much of a cliffhanger or like too abrupt or whatever. And so I'm like,
the cliffhanger is unique to the comic book, and it's not a comic book unless there's a cliffhanger. That's what's so wonderful about it. But yeah, you're right. Some people can get upset because they've got to wait longer than a month, right?
Yeah. And so I'm like, well, if I kind of go one page beyond the cliffhanger, it sort of answers some of the immediate questions at least, and that is like hopefully we did that with Hotel Story 2 because we got feedback right in that middle point. So Hotel Story 1 ended, and then the feedback from the editor was he was like kind of enraged that the story wasn't wrapping up or the questions it was leaving, and we're like, well, we could literally just add one page and it will be a lot more satisfying. So because then you get the reveal of the big bad guy like right after that, the big demon. So we put that in book 1, and then that sort of solved the issue. So I'm doing that with this a little bit. So I added one page. I'm drawing that now. Then it's all done. I'm just lettering it. Tomorrow I'm going to try and bust out as much lettering as I can. And then, this campaign's like 2 months. Like I got a little like kind of rolling scheme. I'm going to launch Indiegogo. I'm going to send it out to readers, try and get feedback, try and get some word of mouth. People know it's out there, know it's good. Because one thing I'm kind of fighting, there's a few things, is like this was delayed. Speaking of people waiting, it's not like I launched it and then people had to wait, but this is what I was working on when I took the Vatican City job. So this got delayed like a year and a half just because of that opportunity, which is great, but just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like almost trying to just reach the old Earthbound fans, make sure they know it even exists.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna get that Vatican City collected book. Does anyone know, is that out yet? Has he done the?
Yeah,
full-
the trade for that is out. You can get on like Amazon,
Okay.
pretty easily. It's $20.
That's what I was
You should
waiting
definitely
for.
grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so what you were saying, so again, I'm not speaking from any expertise whatsoever, but I have pooled the brain of people much more talented than me. And the two biggest things they told me when making a comic is always keep the action going. You do have to do that naz in between. Try not to make it more than a page or 3 tops, but keep the action going. And when they said, when they come to the cliffhangers, people like the story completed, but they love that sneak preview of what's to come. So if you can kind of find a way to finish the story, but then leave it off on here's what's coming in the next installment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like that's the magic, and that's the
totally. I think that's what you put it way more succinctly. It's like you have the cliffhanger and you need one preview page too, and then that kind of solves a lot of the issues that might come up.
Yeah.
Hey, SF Gaming has a question in the chat.
Okay, sure, perfect. Yeah, because I can't see that one. Thank you. Is the
if you get the Earthbound completionist pack, that's Earthbound. This is the kind of stuff I need to put graphics up to even help, because I realize it is like there's just a lot to it because it's a 10-year project. But there's Earthbound, which is Earthbound 1 and 2. It's 2 trades. That's a full story. It's like the first arc. That's like a prequel to Grand Prix. And you can kind of read them in either order because they are episodic, kind of. They overlap in characters, but it's 2 different adventures. It'd be like if you're reading Flashman. You guys know that book, or like any series that's like about where you can kind of just read, or like at Star Trek even. You know, it's not like you need to start at number 1. You just pick up as long as it's a complete story. Right. But yeah, so it's 2 big trades. They combine to make 240 pages. That's the first graphic novel, and then the Earthbound kind of series has a second graphic novel called Grand Prix that is now half done. So that's and that's a little bit more. It's 160 pages, I think, is actually this whole first trade. And that is for sale too. So you get all 3, then you're all caught up. And then all that's to go, which is kind of fun, is like there's one more trade to go. And then what I'm thinking about trying to do is, because the way the story's structured even is, it's all about this fighting tournament in outer space. And there's a certain point where kind of like shit sort of hits the fan. And from that point on, it's like one big action scene. And that's almost the whole second trade. And so it's going to be a little bit harder to split into issues if I even want to try and do that. And so I was like, I kind of almost want to just release just the trade, which would mean there probably won't be a crowdfund for like a year, even 2 years. But then when it does crowdfund, then it's the whole story's done. But yeah, so, and also because will still be a ways off, definitely recommend. And the way the story kind of breaks in half like that, even though it ends on a cliffhanger, it is like a pretty satisfying chunk of story in this first trade, you know.
A couple comments I missed out on. Sorry, I don't want to jump over you, Jason. So Infinite was saying that animation was great. He really thought that was awesome. Yeah, I apologize. Again, I'm on a shoestring budget. The show gets no funding. Yeah, I tried turning down that audio. When the bass hits hard, the way I reorganize, there's not really much I can do for that heavy bass. But yeah, it's just
I just turned down my audio, and then it sounds fuzzy, but it sounded cool. So as long as it does not hurt, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone's ears. But yeah. And
then Crenshaw said, "Bruh, this is fantastic." I agree with you 100%, Crenshaw.
Sure.
And
sure.
Michael,
Crenshaw's chat at the very, very bottom for a second here.
Sorry, and Michael saying Purge trailers like a mini flicks. Yeah, they're like I am hooked. I've only got a little bit of Purge work. I just need to set aside the time to read Hotel Story, and I'm excited to get into it. A lot of people saying backed with the campaign, so I can't wait to get back into that. Crenshaw was saying he wants to play the RPG of Grand Prix.
Yeah, I would love to branch out, and I put out a kind of funny tweet of like it was actually on Steam, various video games. They do chain quote tweets where they'll say like, for this one they're saying like, my game is inspired by blah blah blah, and I quote chained out of that into a comic, and then Jason jumps on it too, which is fun. But so yeah, and what I was inspired by, one of them is like the Tekken 2 opening cinematic, which is a PS2 or PS1 game, I think. And it's funny, you can still find it on YouTube, and it's so fun because they introduce every character. Every character gets like 5 seconds, but in that 5 seconds, you get their like origin or their story or a little bit, kind of their vibe. And I'm like, oh, I love that about fighting games, that it's sort of like it's like a fighting game could be like 10 actual different stories all combined like a Venn diagram into one where they all meet kind of. And so that's, I was like, Grand Prix, I want it to be like the coolest fighting game story ever, is because still, you know, if it's just a video game story, it's not like it's going to be so awesome. But for this one, I do try to make it awesome. I have some tricks to kind of do that, but yeah.
That's very cool. So I saw this comment from Jason. So what I'm visioning with this is at the end at some point, or some point, maybe it won't even be the end, because in 10 years he's already there. So Per puts out this big, thick, massive omnibus. I'm thinking black, gold etched, and he just puts Per Berg on the cover, and you flip, and there's a picture and a narwhal on the back etched into it. Big fat omnibus. What do you think of that? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so one, I don't like omnibuses for what I buy, so it's hard to me to get in because they're so heavy and I don't read them like when they hurt my wrists or whatever. I need to prop them up. I need like a fake beer belly to rest them on or something. Or I can just, if I drink a lot of.
You can lift them with one hand though, obviously, right? I don't struggle holding. I don't even know what that's all about. I have no problem lifting omnibuses over my head for even time. What's we call Crenshaw? He said back previously. I'm sorry. It's no. So
this
for the record,
this is time for public shaming, Craig. This is unacceptable.
Crenshaw, yeah, whatever you do, Crenshaw. Just don't refund and back it again. Don't do
that.
For the Crenshaw. Record, he backed on Bancroft.
Okay, then it's okay.
So you were on Bancroft, I believe, Per. So I just want to give a shout out to Michael Bancroft, the support he's been giving this community. We used to have the Bancroft bump. It used to be a really big bump. As long as I remember, he's been inspirational. One of those big inspirational creators for me. He does it all himself. He writes it, he draws it, he letters it, hosts the YouTube shows. Always would have people on his shows. He's pretty good about, like, for those brand new artists, as long as they can prove they have the 100 signups, he'll have them on the show. Obviously, if you've established yourself and you can print and you can fulfill and you're reliable and you're not going to take the money and run, or you're not going to take the money and then never put anything out, he will have you on on a show.
Yeah.
But Crenshaw, no, it's totally cool. He backed while you were on Bancroft, and no, I'm not gonna shame him, Jason. I just
I'm really glad that Craig reached out right as soon as I launched and invited me on and got me on right away. Like, really appreciate it, guys.
Yes.
And by the way, SF Gaming backed, I think, and Vulcan backed. So thanks, guys. This is awesome. Cool.
Yeah. And then Infinite was saying, Per, I was joking when I said I was going to read.
I know you're joking. I'm joking too, Infinite, because Infinite threatened me with that. He's like, I can refund and reback. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep going through your campaign here. We're at like so I always say it's 90 minutes. I don't mind going past. I'm okay.
Yeah, I can go past too, but if you.
Yeah, we can go a little past. I don't mind.
Okay, so I'll scroll through here under your direction, Per. If there's anything you want me to go to or stop at, just let me know.
Okay, so this, real quick, we can talk about this. I did, like, now it might be like 3 or 4 years ago. I did call it Interactivity, and it's a little nonfiction kind of book, and it sort of became my like whole like thesis statement or goal with like storytelling. Mm-hmm. And I did feel like, who am I to be doing this? I did feel like a piece of shit, but also I don't care. And so it's kind of fun to just put it out there. And there are like people kind of enjoy reading it, and yeah, it's sold like 1,000 copies at least, maybe, and some of that because it was in the era, the golden age, you know. But I get some good feedback about it, and it was tied to a blog for a while. I did like a newsletter with like essays about storytelling, and that got up to 300 subs, but it was defunct the past like couple years even. And I was treating that almost like as a sequel of like further, if anything was kind of ideas coming up. And so, yeah, this is like the spiritual sequel to Interactivity. It's just the collected essays remastered. I'm going through them and rewriting some, or deleting some, writing some new ones. But this one too is a huge focus on psychology, which is a really fun like angle to look at storytelling from. And so I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's an essay in it, and I put this one on Twitter, but it's called "The Psychology of the Passed Pawn," which is like a special pawn in chess. If the opposite pawn isn't blocking him, then he has a free path. He's kind of looking, he's got a straight path to the back row where he can become a queen. And in games that'll happen kind of without people realizing it, just naturally. Later in the game, you have some passed pawns where they aren't blocked anymore. And those will often become like the new focus of the battle. And it's like the weakest piece suddenly becomes the most important piece on the board. And it's fun to be like, okay, if this was a person, what's going through his head? And so that's an example of like one of the essays that turned out pretty good that I enjoyed that is in the book. Wow. So I do recommend that if anyone wants to pick up, you can pick up the trade and the storytelling newsletters. And it's kind of memified, just like pretty low rent, Amazon printing. It's not printed to be super cool or anything. Like Interactivity too. Interactivity got published right when Winnie the Pooh entered the public domain. Mm-hmm. So I put Winnie the Pooh on the cover. So it's kind of weird. It has
that picture just screams creator with not enough hours in the day. I lived like that during COVID. I know what that's like. The bed is right beside the freaking computer because as soon as you get that mandatory sleep, you're back at it again.
Yeah. That was when I lived in Portland, and there was a few months before I got my futon that I slept on, and I was actually just camping in my room. I had an air mattress and a sleeping bag, and I was pathetic, but it was kind of romantic in that adventurous.
It's where sleep's getting in the way of your creating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
that was a big level up in my career when my office was no longer in my bedroom. Because there's something too about if you actually sleep and work in the same room, humans aren't supposed to breathe in one room all day because that will actually stink up the room. Kind of, it gets all, even if like not even BO, but just like breath and humidity, and it's just gross. So yeah, you need to leave every room once in a while. You need to move back and forth.
Well, it's the same psychological issues from prisons. Like you literally go mad from staying confined in the same space. Sorry to interrupt you, Jason.
Yeah. So SF Gaming and Jason have some chats we should look at.
Okay.
At the very bottom.
So. SF Gaming. When are we getting Cerberus 2?
Yeah, Cerberus 2 is done, and it's kind of like in little publishing limbo because it kind of might level up publishing slightly beyond me just crowdfunding it. And then beyond that, there might be like a future for it. I don't know, but it turned out really good. I'm so stoked. You guys are going to love it. I'm really excited for it. I think timeline wise, something around next summer should be a thing. And then one fun thing too, is I did get feedback. The only person who's read it besides me is the editor, and the editor gave good feedback, but he was like, you need to find a way to send this to Don Bluth so he could read it. And I was like, cool. That's like, I'll take that as good feedback or whatever.
Nice.
I mean, it means he likes it. But
so we got to add another known backer to the show, Jason. Nice. Jason said he
backed it. Jason, thanks. And yeah, I do. I want to stream with you guys. I'll DM you right on.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so again, back to your campaign again. So where do I go for this blog again? Sorry, I listened to the story. Where can I find this, or did you start this up again?
Yeah, so it's still defunct, but this is a published book now that you can get with the campaign. So the tier it's actually the featured tier. It's the Collected Trade of Grand Prix and the storytelling newsletters.
Oh, you're already telling me what I'm going to back. Perfect. Okay, that's what I'm grabbing. All right.
Yeah.
So praise for interactivity. Is there just people you're giving shout outs to on Twitter?
Yeah, that's just people who read the first nonfiction book and like were like, hey, it's good writing advice or whatever. Yeah.
Nice. Risks and challenges. I fulfilled many projects in the past. This book is already complete, so I'm just promoting them.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff has been that workflow lately because it's like building the train tracks while you're on the train, but I just kind of have a few in the pipeline. And when I'm launching, they're already done. They fulfill pretty quickly. I usually give myself a little grace even with the goal or whatever. So, yeah, wow, look at that. Did we go up like 1,000, I think, on this show?
Yeah, you started at 77 backers and now you're at 84 backers. So
yeah, you need like Wayback Machine or screen capping. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
But I think you guys, thank you to the chat and thanks to you guys. I think it went up $1,000 tonight as we've been talking.
Oh, I haven't even backed yet. I'm still waiting to back myself. When we're going to the rewards, so let's cover some of these rewards here. Okay, so how many are watching, by the way, Jason? If you can let me know.
On YouTube we have 7, but I can't see how many are watching.
47. Yeah, we got 47
Nice.
watching.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, you can't see that same thing. Okay, yes, thank you again, 47. I've been watching steady, by the way. Thank you so much for tuning in, supporting the show.
Yeah.
So you got graphic novel and storytelling newsletters for $50.
Yeah, so that's that featured one I was talking about.
Okay.
And then there's just the double issue of Grand Prix 3, which is not the full trade. That's like if you've been backing as I've been doing them over the past few years. If you have Grand Prix 1 and 2, you can get just 3. A lot of people are jumping on for that. And then there is the whole trade is available digitally too to save on shipping. If you want to do that. And I've got a few backers doing that, so that's nice. Yeah.
Interactivity is an add-on. How many pages is that, and what is that?
That's 120 pages, and that's like that first kind of non-fiction-y storytelling kind of newsletter book that I wrote like 4 years ago.
Oh wow.
So that goes kind of paired with the storytelling newsletters. So you put those two together, and that's kind of like my little side hustle of essay writing that I've been doing the past 5 years or whatever.
You got Earthbound, both parts 1 and 2 are available as add-ons with this campaign.
Yep. So those are the catch-ups. That's like the classic. And what's fun about those is it's a complete story, totally wrapped up, kind of a long in a fun way. Like it's 2 trades. It's 240 pages to tell the whole story. And those back in the day that was like, my bread and butter for a while. That was like my big hit. They got good feedback, word of mouth, a lot of people, a lot of fans kind of. So those are fun.
I try not to drop more than $100. I don't know if you're going to get past that. We'll see. So here you got Grand Prix double issue floppy is available as well.
Yeah. And then you can catch up on the old floppies if you want to do that too. So all the Earthbound books are available in this campaign. So.
Nice.
Oh, I had to grab the barking dog.
And you can grab a collected digital trade of Grand Prix. How much is that? That's
$20 from that. Yeah. So that saves some money on printing and shipping. So it's a little more affordable if anyone wants to go that route.
Yeah, prefers digital or can read. I got to get my face off the screens. I still love my physical. I usually read physical in bed, or I bring them with me in the car, because a lot of times my wife works still. I don't. So when I'm sitting and waiting for her at work, I'll bring a comic book with me and read it in the car.
Me too. I still like physical, but yeah.
Okay, so I don't think I'm missing anything with the rewards other than it's just different options and different covers.
Yeah, just different options and combinations of what people might want. That kind of helps me fulfill it once it's done too. Then I know what.
So there isn't Earthbound Completionist Starter Pack, and that comes with 1, 2. Can you fill me in what's the Grand Prix Earthbound?
Yeah, so that third one, that's this book. This is like the new trade that started, and we're 1 trade into it now. Eventually there'll be 2 trades that will finish the story. And it's funny, I say trade, I'm like, or like you could say collected graphic novel or trade GN. It's funny, like even what terms to use. But
I'm actually, at the same time I'm here, I'm sort of doing the calculation. So if I grab that, where's your story newsletter? How much is your story newsletter by itself as a single reward?
It's 20, I think. So you save a little bit by getting them together.
But if I grab the reward I just looked at, right, that gives me like $20 sort of left on the side as an add-on. Which would you recommend? Grab the interactivity or grab the newsletter? Which you
I don't know. Interactivity's first, so maybe I'd recommend that. But the newsletters is new, so that's funner to me. I'd say go with the newsletters. Screw activity.
All right. Yeah. See, I'm trying to pick what I'm going to buy at the same time we're showing the campaign. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know what I want to do, Jason.
You got a plan? Okay.
Yeah, I got a plan here. So I'm just going to take this campaign down here for a second. All right.
All right. Per. Tell the viewers what some of your plans are for the rest of 2026. What are you going to be working on, and also where you're streaming, because I know you stream by yourself and you stream with Rini and Phil Diaz and so forth. Kind of tell the people what 2026 looks like for you.
Yeah. I have that show with them, which we've been arguing about what to call it. I think we're calling it panel breakers, but we still sometimes call it creative bus. And it used to be creative block, but that was a problem because that had been used, so you couldn't search and find us. Like this other show came up, so like, okay, we have to change it. And then Renee and Jake convinced me and Phil to change it to panel breakers. But then it turns out it's the same exact thing. You search and it doesn't come up something else called. And so I feel like they betrayed us. They tricked us. And I'm like, we should just call it creative bus. And they're like, creative bus sounds so stupid. I'm like, that's why it's fun. And he's like, I don't like stuff that's just so bad it's good. Stop doing that. And I'm like, that's what I do like. So we were actually kind of, we've been arguing. But we have a new fun gimmick that we do on the show where I have a 5-minute timer.
Okay.
And I always turn it on whenever Renee's talking. So she only gets 5 minutes to talk. And she hates it. So like, that's kind of fun.
Is the timer on the screen or is it just?
Yeah, I put it on the screen.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's funny. But so that show, it is going good and that's a fun show. And we have a little bit like behind the scenes collabs of the show being like almost like more of a brand, like maybe trying to do a magazine or a catalog type thing at some point. So that's all fun. That's sort of, but 2026 is, I've thought it's a little bit like my catch up here. I got a few projects, Earthbound, and I want to get prepared and ready to start Percival, which might be almost like the new Earthbound is like, Percival is like a huge project. I'm doing everything on it. I want to do it traditional art because that is potentially a little more commercial, kind of like the Vatican City style, but maybe black and white. And maybe that might be open to getting that published into stores. But I'm not even I'm going to do it no matter what, but I kind of want to do that. And that'll be like starting in 2027. So 2026 is like just trying to get everything going for that. But there's one I'll tell you about real fast too, is there's the Naked Samurai. And that is a fun one because that is super episodic, not decompressed storytelling. So it's 5
and you've
one
done
shots
a few,
basically.
You did some of that in the Shorts Compendium, right?
Yeah, but now it's like a little evolution of that too. I feel like I kind of cracked a little code or had a little breakthrough because for the longest time I couldn't think of any new ideas for the Naked Samurai. And then I kind of was watching a lot of episodic TV and I was like, I think I know how they do it. And I wrote like 20 ideas, took the 5 best and kind of fleshed them out, turned them into scripts, and I'm started drawing them now. And yeah, they do all that. They do that thing where in 20 pages, you have to have like an emotional response, completely wrap up, have a story that feels very satisfying. And I do that for 5 and they're all really fun. And they follow this guy called the Naked Samurai. So I kind of can't wait for that to come out. That's what I'm really looking forward to. And the art's fun. And one thing about that too is having a 20-page, almost like a portfolio for writing even, is I feel like easier to send to someone like in the mainstream industry, like even like Mark. Like I actually haven't bugged Mark about like, will you read some of my books too? Like, because I'm like, oh, do I send him like a 200-page book? Like I don't even know if I want to try that. But I would feel a lot more comfortable like being, hey, here's a 20-page one shot about a samurai if you want to read something that I've written. That kind of thing, hypothetically. Because I still don't know if I'd bug him, but I can send it to anyone.
On the topic of Mark, I know he saw your work online. Do you know which of did he? Is there a particular book of yours that he read where he said, "I want to collaborate with this guy"?
Yeah, so it was a review from Foreign Agent by your boy Zach. And this is like 2019 or something like that. And that was a really glowing review that kind of stood out. And then he followed me the next day because of that review. And then we started chatting. And then we were just pen pals for like 3-4 years. And then there was some different pieces of art that he liked and was responding to. But the biggest one that seemed like it really like turned the corner, it was the Mad Max short story that I wrote and published once in a while on Twitter. I threw it out there. Cool. And what was ironic was I'd actually written and drawn that like 10 years before. But I'd throw it out there once in a while, and then I threw it out that time, and that time he saw it, and then he's like, and part of me is like, I wish you would have seen this 10 years ago or whatever. But yeah, so that was about it. That was Mad Max.
I'm sitting on like 5 different thoughts right now. So first off with Rennie, I backed Rennie's first Fiendish, and I had that in the art book, but I sold them on eBay. So I used to take everything and I'd throw it on eBay for like $100 or whatever. And, I mean, it's just a huge amount of money. If someone walked in my office and said, "Hey, I give you $100 for that," sold, right? Someone actually bought it. So, I mean, bam, $100. Yeah, sure, I'll sell it. But if she's on Fiendish 3 or anything and she wants to come on the show, if you feel free, she can message me or I'll message her. She's always welcome on the show. Definitely.
I bet she definitely would want to. So I'll let her know. Yeah.
And then sorry, I'm trying to go through 5 thoughts. Yeah, they're all starting. Jason, I know he already mentioned the pledge, but when you mentioned your Naked Samurai, I was thinking right away, I want to read your Naked Samurai book and Absolute back to back at the same time. I think that would be a really cool samurai experience. Something I want to get into. What I was also going to say is Grand Prix is a killer book. Michael was saying.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Really dig it. And then Vulcan was weighing in as well about dogs. I think we're all dog lovers here. My dog's getting a little old though. My dog's like on year 14. He's starting to get dementia and is not getting outside for the bathroom. Yeah. I'm kind of a little sad.
That's why like Cerberus is like might be a hit because it's a talking dog detective story, whatever. Like the universe rules of 101 Dalmatians kind of thing.
So we started this campaign with 77 backers. I didn't keep tabs on the dollar amount, like you said, but would you like to see where we've gone from 77 backers?
Yeah, let's see.
Drum roll. Boom, 85.
Ooh, wow, that's amazing.
That's what
that's cool. So cool. Thank you guys. And you used when we first started, you're like, we'll get you 7 or 8 backers. I like that would be amazing. That'd be the best day. And it is. That's the best backing day since I launched. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Even Per Berg says the Friday nights has a loyal fan, a loyal chat of followers who love comic books and back comics. And pretty soon they will be talking. Craig, pretty soon they will be talking about the Friday nights bump.
Yeah, we just love indie comics. We love indie creators. I mean, if anyone's watching out there, it's in the shadows. We used to have like 100 people watching. And I used to be like, I always feel like someone like, who are these mystery 80 people out there that are watching me? And I have no idea who they are. But if you're a creator out there and you have a live campaign, please DM me. I mean, I don't care. I really don't care what your political beliefs are. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. If you can hang out, laugh at a bunch of topics and have fun, we'll see what we can do to get you support, because that's what this is all about for us. So
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think we're in closing. We're at the hour and 45, 15 minutes past. Is there anything extra you want to add? Campaigns, YouTube appearances? Now's the time.
Nope. Just, thanks for having me, guys. I'm just going to keep kind of promoting, and that's a big part of what I'm doing the next couple of months. And then, just doing comics, indie comics.
And then, Craig, can you bring up the Jupiter campaign again?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it won't take me 5 minutes. Here you go. Here, shit. Okay. Here we go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please go back. Please go follow and sign up the Jupiter 2 campaign, because if you don't, I'm going to shoot this dog. I'm not joking.
Oh.
I do that strategy too. Sometimes I'll threaten the chat, shame the chat.
So thank you, everybody. We're on the way to 120 followers or signups on Jupiter 2. Might even hit that by the next time we air on the show, Craig. But regardless, I'm going to keep racking up keep racking up the signups until the book launches later this year. Greatly looking forward to it. And I think, Craig, I think by March I'll be ready to start sharing some artwork on the show. But I don't want to sell wine before it's time, so I've been kind of holding back. But I think we'll start doing some preview pages soon.
I'm aiming for a soft launch around May is what I'm figuring. But what was it? Patrick, Comicsgate Commandos, they reached out to me. He offered me to come on the show already. I said my campaign isn't live, but I did mention I'm aiming for about May. So if anyone's wondering, that's when I think I'm going to do my Soltac 5 campaign. Right now, that's my goal, unless anything. I don't know, is that around the time you're thinking Soltac 2, or you don't really have a month in mind?
Jupiter 2? I don't know yet. I don't. Okay. I'm treating this like a true military campaign, where I've got to make sure I've got all my pieces in a I have plans within plans, and will not be launching until I'm ready.
Desert Storm 1, right? You're not going to launch until
because once I fire the first shot, you can't put that first bullet back in the barrel. So
that's nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's fantastic. Again, Per, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for staying extra, sharing a Friday evening with us, and
thank you.
Things.
Yeah, it's fun. I want to do it again.
Yes.
Yeah. If not, every time I have a book, if not sooner or more.
Yeah. And we had 48 dedicated throughout the entire show. Again, everyone who puts us on as background noise or participates in the chat or backs the books, shares us out. I can't say thank you enough for the support.
I'm just going to shout out. So we got 48 people watching, and what was it? 7 or 8 backers? 7 backers?
7 or 8. Yeah.
That is a phenomenal percentage. Percentage. You see shows where there's 1,000 people watching and 1 or 2 people back. I think it's just a testament to the high caliber of people that hang out with us on the Friday nights.
Yeah, you guys are cultivating a little core of true comic indie reader enthusiasts. That's awesome.
Better, getting away from all the nonsense and just want to hang out and have fun with cool people. Yeah.
All right, Craig, what outros do you have to help us do some final laughs before the weekend starts?
Me, I put it's in some sort of stoned haze. I grab various tweets and stuff. I never take credit for any of the content. I steal from the internet like a pirate, yar. I throw it together for 6 minutes and I put it out there. If you haven't been on Twitter, because I have nothing but spare time, here is a 6-minute review of whatever craziness is out there. Memes are out there, jokes are out there. Again, tune in with us again next Friday. Next Friday, we have Dr. Mask Retro Elixir is on with us.
I don't know that name. I'm intrigued. We'll have to check it out.
Yes, it's exciting. So tune in with us again next Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And again, everyone that joined us, thank you so much. Thank you, Per. It's up to you if you want to stick around after the outro. If you dip out, me and Jason won't be offended in any way whatsoever. In any case, on that note, to everyone who tuned in, thank you so very much and have a fantastic weekend.
Hayden Collins, and we're here in Kingsgate Mall in the Museum of Personal Failure. It's a concept exploration, I've been calling it. It's people invited to express their experiences of failure in whatever way that they want to.
This isn't even half bad for like a failed album.
So this is I called it $33 bill failed album. These are some of the first musical ideas that I really ever came up with. In the past 5 years, hopefully I've gotten a lot better, but that's not what the point of this exhibit is. This exhibit is about the point where I failed 5 years ago.
I make knives that have been sold all over the world. They're very custom, intricate pieces, as you can tell from something like that. This is the first knife I finished in 2025, a year ago. And when I went to sharpen it, I found out that I couldn't sharpen it. Something was wrong with it. And I found out that through a mistake I made previously, I cooked the chemical properties out of my quenching oil and didn't do its job. So the knife is finished and it's now just a static display. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Somebody might find this interesting and want this on their mantle. You don't know, right? It's you go into it blind and you hope for the best, and hopefully it works out. But if not, they'll live at my house.
This is just my life story of events that I went through throughout my life. I was able to kind of get past this point, and a lot of good things have been happening to me. And I do think that getting my thing submitted into the Museum of Failure, I think that is a success.
लेकिन ये साला कर क्या रहा है यहाँ पे?
First
This is huge, like unbelievably huge. First McDonald's in Greenland ever. People said, why would you open a McDonald's in Greenland? I said, because it's minus whatever. I needed a warm place. And look at it, beautiful building, tremendous colors. They pop against the snow like freedom. Let me tell you, this isn't just fast food. This is strategy. This is infrastructure. This is morale. You've got glaciers, you've got shipping lanes, you've got unlimited fresh ice, and now you've got McNuggets. And that's how empires are built, folks, okay?
This creates danger. And I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. Look, I'm worried. We know how these things go. They start with taunts, they turn to violence.
Tim Walz is a big fat retard. Go home, leave me alone. Retard, 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 retard. Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering?
I am one that thinks, let me throw this out on your show, and we'll get some headlines. How about since Trump dislikes Minnesota so bad and we're so out of control, let's join Canada.
What?
Instead of Canada becoming the 51st state of America and lose their health care, like they said, they would never do that because they'd lose their health care. I'd like to see Minnesota, all of us become Canadians.
Secession.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
And make this part of Canada, because it's obvious Donald Trump don't want us. I'm sure Canada'd be happy to take us.
Welcome to Minnesota, where every moment is an adventure. From the tranquil natural beauty of our waters to the rich culture of our cities, Minnesota is where unforgettable memories are made.
Go inside now! Get in the house!
Step into friendly neighborhoods that make you feel right at home the moment you arrive. Stroll through vibrant streets, soak in the energy of our dynamic nightlife, or indulge in a shopping spree at one of our world-class boutiques. And behind it all is strong leadership and inclusive policies that create a place where everyone can thrive. Minnesota, we're ready to be your next adventure.
And then all those Iowans, think of what a mess it'll be when they have to cross an international border to come up here fishing. And then all those Iowans to come up here fishing. To come up here fishing.
Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you.